This presentation is based on an investigative study of the alignment of pedestrian and bicycle facilities at intersections, the purpose of which is to identify the conflicts experienced at intersections and to identify South African and international guidelines which provide facilities to reduce conflicts and ensure pedestrian and cyclist safety and accessibility. This presentation will highlight some of the concerns of an existing intersection which contribute to pedestrian and cyclist conflicts and propose a suitable solution to minimize these conflicts. Conflicts at intersections may occur between pedestrians, vehicles, and cyclists and increase substantially by the number of legs connecting to the intersection. There are a total of 32 vehicle conflicts and 8 pedestrian conflicts at a four-way intersection. A conflict for a cyclist can be included in both vehicle and pedestrian conflicts, as cyclists may decide in which manner they would like to operate the intersection, either as a pedestrian on the sidewalk or as a vehicle in the roadway. The intersection that is being reviewed is located at 17th Avenue and Main Road, Walmer, Port Elizabeth. This intersection has a substantial high volume of traffic during peak periods and is in close proximity to 3 commercial complexes and a number of fast food outlets. We will now look at the facilities which have and have not been provided for cyclists and pedestrians at this intersection. Facilities that have been provided at this intersection include sidewalks on the curb which separate pedestrians from vehicles, a basic signalized pedestrian crossing provided, as well as pedestrian ramps for disabled people. What the intersection lacks for pedestrians are: there are large radii which promote speed for cornering vehicles and therefore places the pedestrians crossing at the intersection in danger. The intersection is large in itself and exposes pedestrians for long periods of time when crossing the intersection. The lack of a refuge island in the north and eastern leg of the intersection could cause conflict for pedestrians trying to get across. What the intersection lacks for cyclists. At the intersection, the east path provides 2 right turning lanes which merge into cross-flowing traffic. This is a concern as the lanes which the traffic merge into are relatively narrow, leaving insufficient space for cyclists. There are also no lanes nor signage dedicated to cyclists at this intersection. There is no painted guidelines which direct cyclists from the left-hand side of the roadway to the right-hand side for them to perform a right-hand turning maneuver at the intersection. There is also no space for cyclists and pedestrians to operate on the same sidewalk, as this will cause a conflict. The flora and lampposts on the northwestern corner may be a visual distraction for motorists and cyclists which wish to take a left turn at that corner. This is the proposed alignment overlaid with the existing roadway. The proposal is based on the following legislation and guidelines. The roadway will be completely realigned and the intersection will be moved in the southeastern direction. This is to provide sufficient space for cyclists and pedestrian facilities without decreasing the number of lanes for vehicles. Moving back of stop lanes to provide space for pedestrians and cyclists will allow sufficient space for a raised pedestrian crossing and a cycling lane. Ramps provided for both pedestrians and cyclists will allow them to move from the curb into the roadway and back on the other side. Facilities provided specifically for the pedestrians are raised pedestrian crossings which offer a speed calming method for vehicles and provides extra safety for pedestrians crossing. An introduction of refuge islands in the north and eastern leg of the intersection provides sufficient protection for pedestrians crossing the intersection and reduce exposure to traffic. The provision of a 2-meter wide crossing and sidewalks separate bicycle lanes for high-volume pedestrian and cyclist traffic. Signalized pedestrian crossings with a 30-second lead time will allow high volumes of pedestrians to cross the intersection safely. Facilities provided for cyclists. Provision of a 2-meter wide dedicated lane for cyclists to cross at the intersection. Provision of a 2-meter wide cycling lane on the sidewalk to separate cyclists from pedestrians. A 2-meter wide refuge island to reduce exposure of cyclists when crossing the intersection. Signalized traffic lights will operate in conjunction with the pedestrian crossings to allow both pedestrians and cyclists to cross safely. The corner island radius is decreased, as well as providing an island will allow pedestrians and cyclists to remain in the view of turning vehicles and prevent the vehicles from crossing over the pedestrian and cyclist pathways. The benefits of these upgrades is a reduction in the likelihood of conflicts as well as the increase of safety at the intersection. It will promote the use of non-motorized transportation to reduce traffic congestion in the area. It will set a standard for future pedestrian and cyclist facilities, provide safe road networks, and it will have a reduction in noise and air pollution of the area. This proposal is aimed at the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, residents of the area, road users, cyclists, and businesses of the area. On the left is the before image of how the intersection looked before facilities were provided for pedestrians and cyclists. On the right hand side is the overlaid view of these facilities on the existing intersection. Here is a layout of the proposed intersection changes as well as the road signages which will be provided. Thank you for watching.